Hi, this is Nikki from Natty Nikki. Welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I am doing a sort of get to know you. I have been tagged by the lovely Vicky from the Curves Opinion. It's 50 questions. I'll keep the answers short so I'm not here for hours boring you, but maybe by the end of it you'll know a little bit more about me. A lot of it is probably stuff you already know, but she tagged me and I thought, well, rather than do it in a blog post, which I would do normally, I thought, oh, I'll do it as a YouTube video because I'm trying to do more of them. So without much further ado, I have my pad with the questions on. I have a cheeky Malibu and Diet Coke because it's Saturday evening, so I'm just going to have a quick slurp, excuse me. Bottoms up. And away we go. So first question is, what are you wearing? Well, I've done a really lazy outfit today. You can't really see because I have to stand up there. You can sort of see the colour of my top. I am in a big oversized Yours clothing top and a pair of leggings from Aldi of all places, £4.99, real good bargain. I'm not sure they've got many left at the moment. I did actually Instagram this outfit this morning, so if you follow me on Instagram you would have seen me wearing it. It was a really quick throw it on this morning because I had to get my son out the door really early because he was going on a trip with beavers today, so I just threw something on and it's stayed on all day, even though we've had a sort of rain on and off. I'm dodging the shower, so that is what I'm wearing. Okay, next question. Ever been in love? Well, yes, and I'm still in love because I'm sure if you read my blog you'll know that I'm married. I've been married 2 years this year and I've actually been with my now husband for 12 years. So yes, I've been in love in the past and I'm still in love right now because I'm married to somebody who I love terribly. Ever had a terrible breakup? Yes, I have. I won't bore you with the details. It was many, many years ago before I met my husband. So yes, I have had a terrible breakup, but it's in the past and don't dwell on that. How tall am I? Well, I am 5'4". I'm not very tall at all, really. In fact, it's quite funny because when people have met me in real life, they've been quite shocked at the fact that I'm quite short. I don't know if it's the way my blog photos are done or what it is quite, but people seem to think I'm taller than I am, but I'm really not. I'm quite a shorty. I'm 5'4". I do make a point of saying it actually on some of my blog posts when I'm doing outfits like maxi dresses or anything that would be have an effect depending on your height, really. I always make a point of saying, well, I'm this height, so there you go, I'm 5'4". How much do I weigh? Well, not shouldn't be rude. I'm not going to answer that question because that's kind of quite personal. So no, not answering that. Sorry. Sorry. Any tattoos? Yes, I do have a tattoo. It's on my lower back. It's a little tribal sun. I had it done years and years ago on a holiday in Great Yarmouth. I think it predates me having my son, so he's 7 this year, so it's quite a long time ago. And it was one of those things, I was just walking past a tattoo shop and I sort of turned to my other half. I was like, oh, I fancy a tattoo. God knows what possessed me, I don't know. Wandered in, I saw this design, I thought, oh, I'll have that, that'll do. Stuck it on my lower back and still there. I forget it's there, to be honest, because I don't see it, I don't think about it. So yes, I have a tattoo. That's the only one I have, because when I had it done it was so blimmin' painful, put me off having any more done. So I've only got the one. Who knows, I might get another one done when I'm 40, but I don't know, we'll see. Any piercings? Yes, well I have, as you can probably see from here, I have my ears pierced. I actually used to have about 4 in each ear. I don't know, you probably can't see anymore, but the holes are just visible. That was from when I was a student. I even had originally one up there, but that's been long gone for many years. And I had my nose pierced again when I was a student, much to my mum's horror at the time. I can remember ringing my mother to tell her, and her first question was, did it hurt? I said yes. She went, oh good. But then after that she totally mellowed and she used to buy me nose studs and stuff because she thought it was quite nice, I think. But I haven't worn a nose stud for many a year and I think it's probably all closed up now, so that's that. Now the next question, I don't know what this means. It says OTP. If anybody wants to explain to me what on earth OTP means, and I'm probably a bit of an old fart these days, I know most abbreviations that are around on the internet. That one I haven't a clue, and I do know that Vicky, when she did hers, even she was like, what's OTP? So I'm just going to leave that one, but if anybody wants to enlighten me, please do. Favourite show? Well, I presume they mean television programme. At the moment, I'm really loving Parks and Recreation. I was watching it on Netflix, but we've just had to cancel Netflix, so I don't quite know how I'm going to watch any more of it. But I'd seen people talking about it on Twitter, so I decided to give it a go. I was just absolutely hooked from the first episode. If you've never watched it and you can find it somewhere to watch, then definitely do. It just had me howling with laughter. Really, really good. Next one. Favourite bands. Well, I adore Crowded House. I have done since I was about 17. I also have a huge lot of love for Depeche Mode still. I saw them earlier this year with my brother at, well, I still call it the NEC, it's the LG Arena now in Birmingham, and they were amazing, just blew me away. And I still, after all these years of OMD, I suppose it's probably because I grew up in the 80s, so I still love a lot of music from my youth and my student days, and I was a lot younger than I am now. So I'd say, yeah, OMD, Depeche Mode and Crowded House, because those are my favourites that I will listen to over and over again. Next one is Something You Miss. I have to say, probably my grandparents, really. Well, not wanting to be morbid. My grandparents, unfortunately, I lost my nan and my grandma when I was really quite young. I was about 7 or 8, I think, and they died within a year of each other. So I do miss them because I never really got a lot of time with them, very sadly, because we lived quite away from them. I lost my final grandparent, which was my grandfather on my dad's side, died about 9 years ago, so I no longer have any grandparents. I haven't done for quite a while. So definitely my grandparents, because they didn't get to see my brother or myself really sort of grow up. Now that I'm a mum and I have a son of my own, and he has grandparents, I see just how important they are. So yeah, definitely my grandparents. Would be nice if they were still here, but they're not. Moving on. Favourite song. I thought about this when I first got these questions, and there's a lot of songs I like. But the one song I can listen to time and time again, and it goes back a long way, is "Don't Dream It's Over" by Crowded House. I don't know what it is about that song. I can listen to it, and it just, I don't get bored of it. I've heard it so many times over the years. It's one of those songs that's just instantly recognisable, I suppose. But I think when I listen to it, I think I'm transported back to my 17-year-old self doing my A-levels, which is quite a nice time in my life. Not that my life isn't good now, but it's that nostalgia, isn't it? So it's definitely "Don't Dream It's Over" by Crowded House. It's just perfect song, perfect pop song. How old am I? Well, I'm at the moment, but only for another week. I'm currently 38, but this time next week I will be 39. So I'm coming up to my final year of my 30s. This is it. I'm going to be 40 next year, so I'm 38, but only for another week. So 38 and almost 39. Right, my zodiac sign. Well, I'm a Cancerian, although if you read some horoscopes, because I'm the 21st of June, they put me at Gemini, but I would definitely say I am a Cancerian. I have the traits of a Cancerian, the moodiness of a Cancerian, so yes, I'm a Cancer. Quality I look for in a guy. Well, obviously, because I'm now married, I don't get around looking, but I know that when I was single, it's usually things like a sense of humour, just someone I can get on with, which is what I have with my husband. He just has ways of making me laugh and chuckle, and just someone you can talk to, because as I've discovered over the last 12 years, it's one thing that you fall in love with somebody, but you've got to have qualities that make you stay in love with them and want to stay with them. And having somebody that, when you after we put our son to bed at night, having someone that you can sit on the sofa and still find lots of things after all these years to talk about and have a giggle with, and I'll often be at work and something funny will happen, I think, oh, I must tell him when I get home tonight. So yeah, things like that. Right, my favourite quote. Well, my favourite quote comes from Hamlet, and it's the last thing he says, which is "the rest is silence." I don't know why I like it. I mean, it's obviously quite more because it's his dying words, but I think I like it because growing up, Hamlet was my absolute favourite play. I did A-level English and then I took it to degree level, and there was something about that play that captured me. I got the chance to see Kenneth Branagh playing Hamlet when I was about 17, and I was just captivated. And then I was lucky enough to see David Tennant as Hamlet, and with Patrick Stewart as well. and just again just blew me away. And if you've never studied the play or seen it, then I would urge you to find the version of David Tennant, because you can actually find it on DVD now that he did at the RSC. It will blow your mind. Amazing performance. Favourite actor? Oh, now I'm going to struggle with this one because I like quite a few actors. I do really like David Tennant. I suppose just talking about him in Hamlet, I adored him as the Doctor. Although I do have a huge thing for Matt Smith. I think he's brilliant as well, and I can't wait for Peter Capaldi. But I'm getting off topic there, aren't I, really? So I'd say, yeah, probably David Tennant. He'd break your heart as the Doctor. He really could, you know, just not even say a word, and it's just heartbreaking at times. So yeah, David Tennant, I think. Favourite colour? Well, I think I'm going to say my favourite colour is purple. I've always liked purple. And last year when my aunt passed away, which was incredibly sad, we all wore purple to her funeral because that was her favourite colour. And it's always a colour I've always liked, always been drawn to. So yeah, purple. And the next one is loud music or soft. Oh. Well, that's really hard because it depends what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm like really happy, then I like to have really loud music on. But if I'm feeling a bit melancholy, then I tend to go for something probably softer and quieter. So I haven't really got a preference there. Where do I go when I'm sad? Well, if I'm not feeling particularly wonderful, then I often will go and sit in my back garden because it's not particularly very big or, you know, anything special, but it's sometimes quite quiet and we can hear the birds singing, and I sometimes just sit out there and just reflect for a minute and have a bit of quiet time. You know, it's quite nice really, so that's what it does. That's where I tend to go. Next one is, how long does it take me to have a shower? Really strange questions. It's about, I'd say 10-15 minutes because I've got short hair, and also because I've got a child and I'm usually in a rush in the morning because I've got to get him to school, me to work, whatever. I don't have time to hang around, so I'd say, yeah, about 10-15 minutes, unless I've been luxurious at the weekend, but no more than that normally. How long does it take me to get ready in the morning? Well, this really depends on whether it's a weekend or a weekday. If it's a weekday, then I think it's probably about, all in all, about half an hour to get up, get showered, get dressed, hair sorted. Again, because I'm usually clock watching the whole time, thinking, what time is it, I'm going to go downstairs, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and make sure I've remembered everything. If it's a weekend, then usually a bit longer, probably say 45 minutes to an hour, depending on whether we've got to be anywhere at any particular time, or what I'm doing, or whether I'm having one of those moments where I'm throwing my toys out the pram because I can't decide what I want to wear and don't like any of my clothes. So there you go. Have I ever been in a physical fight? Well, I'm pleased to say no, I haven't. I'm not a violent person by nature. I avoid confrontation at all costs, so definitely not no. I've never punched anyone. Things that turn-ons, I don't know. If we're talking about people or partners or, you know, politeness is something people being, you know, politeness. I like people that are polite. Please, thank you. Manners don't cost anything. And I think in this day and age, we're always in such a hurry. We're always rushing round. And so remembering manners, just remember those nice things. Hold doors open for people. Be polite. You know, it only takes a second and it can make it's nice. And then we go to turn-offs. Well, definitely, the opposite of that would be people not being polite, letting doors go in your face, or just not saying please and thank you, and like being disrespectful or rude to people that serve you in shops and stuff. I can't stand that. I can't stand that sort of arrogant behaviour. You know, they're still a person at the end of the day. Treat them how you want to be treated yourself. That's always my philosophy. The reason I joined YouTube, well, I suppose the reason I joined YouTube was because obviously I'm a blogger, and I decided I wanted to have a go at doing some YouTube videos. I haven't done a lot really. I suppose it was just an extension to what I already do, just to try something different really. We'll see. My fears. Well, I have a terrible fear of heights. Not so long ago we went to the brand new library of Birmingham, and we went out onto the balcony, and I thought it was going to be alright. And then I started walking along and I was like, ooh, this is a bit higher than I thought it might be. Lovely view of Birmingham city centre, but I was like, ooh, can I go back in now? So no, I definitely don't like heights. And I hate slugs. I have this completely irrational fear. I pulled a weed out of my garden yesterday and I felt something. I was like, oh, there's a slug on it and it's got slime on my hands. And I was like, oh, no. I really, really don't like them. Oh, just no. No, it's definitely slugs and heights. Right, the last thing that made me cry. Well, I think what's the last thing that made me cry? I don't know. Things have been a bit difficult in my personal life at the moment because we're going through some things where my husband is possibly facing redundancy, and I think that's been upsetting me. I think that's probably the last thing that made me cry was just sort of not anger as such, but just I got a bit upset with the thought of all the things we might have to do and what could possibly happen and la la la. I won't bore you with the details, but yeah, I suppose that's the last thing that made me cry. The last time I said I loved somebody or someone, well, it would have been this morning because I always say I love you to my little boy every day when I drop him off at school, and I dropped him off this morning to go to his trip. He always gets a hug and have a lovely day and love you, because I'm a great believer in telling him that I love him, and I usually tell him probably every day, and he always gets an I love you before he goes to bed at night, because it's just nice to let your children know how much they are loved and wanted. So that would have been the last time I said it. I usually say it to husband most of the time as well. Meaning behind my YouTube name. Well, my YouTube name is just Natty Nikki, which is exactly the same as my blog, so there's no real meaning behind it. It's just the name I go by because that's how I'm known as a blogger, as Natty Nikki. And don't ask me how I came up with, well, I suppose I came up with that version because my name is Nikki and I decided I wanted to use my name and stuck Natty in front of it, and there you go, that was my name. The last book I read is somewhere over here. Bear with me 1 minute, I'm just going to find it. The last book I read was, I don't know, I think it was that one, Lee Child One Shot. It might have been something else, I've got a few hanging around, but that's one of the ones I last read. It's quite good actually. It's if you're not familiar with Lee Child, he is the author that writes the Jack Reacher novels, and this is the one that has been made into a film with Tom Cruise. And I'm going to be honest, the book is better than the film. I did like the film, but the book is definitely better. So there you go. Last book I read. Sorry, I'm sidetracked now. The book I'm currently reading, well, I tend to have a couple on the go, and I've been a bit useless lately. But I am reading, oh dear, it's covered in dust, that's how bad it is, isn't it? I'm reading Inferno by Dan Brown, and I've got that far through it. Because, I don't know, just recently, I haven't had the time to read, really. I suppose with blogging, working, being a mum, and just all the general day-to-day things. By the time I get into bed at night, I'm like, it's the last thing I'm thinking about is reading. So, yeah, and it's just covered in dust because I just pulled it off my bedside table. I'm reading that, and I'm also, actually, this is a good book. I'm reading this as well, The Longest Way Home by Andrew McCarthy. Now, I think part of the reason I wanted to read this is because I just adore Andrew McCarthy. He's so lovely. I suppose that goes back to my teenage years because I was a great fan of his growing up when he was in things like Pretty in Pink. But this is quite unusual. This is all about his travels and stuff. It's just some more travel writing now. So that is actually quite a good book, but I'm still only halfway through it, so that one as well. Right, the last show I watched. The last show I watched was, it was The Real Housewives of New York City. I'm such a sucker for certain reality TV programmes. I don't like Big Brother or I'm a Celebrity. I'm not really keen. I used to watch those years ago, but I don't watch them now. I do love Real Housewives of New York, and if you've never watched it, give it a go. I mean, it's just totally trashy TV, you know, but it's good fun to watch. So yeah, that's the last thing I watched. The last person I talked to, well, I talked to two people, which was my husband and my son, to say to them, I'm going upstairs to do a YouTube video. Right, the relationship between you and the last person you texted. I believe the last person I texted was a friend from work that I've known for a little while now. My favourite food. Don't get me started on the subject of food. I'll be here all night. Chinese. I just love Chinese food. I love sweet and sour chicken balls. Oh, I'm salivating now at the thought of eating them. So yeah, Chinese food. A place I want to visit. Well, I think that has to be New York. I would absolutely love to go to New York. I mean, all that shopping. just for the shopping and to go to Central Park and just, yeah, New York. Well, actually, lots of places in America. New York, Las Vegas, Seattle. So yes, I'd just like to get a Winnebago and just drive around drive around America. That would suit me down to the ground, thanks. Right, the last place I was. Well, the last place I was. Whoa, where have I been today? Well, I've been into Birmingham city centre, so I suppose you could say that was the last place I was. And then I went out to a place called Cannon Hill Park, which is on the outskirts of the city, which is quite nice, great huge park. My husband and I had a little picnic because my little one's been out all day. So yeah, that's where I was last. It's actually an exciting life I lead. Do you have a crush? Well, if you count celebrity crushes, I do have a little soft spot for Adam Richman. If you don't know who he is, I came across him from watching Man vs Food, which is quite a few years old now. He doesn't do them anymore. And it's like food and a nice looking man. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me because I love food and I love him. So Adam Richman is definitely who I have a bit of a crush on. The last time I kissed somebody, well, that would be today. I kissed my little one goodbye when he was leaving, and I'm sure I've kissed my husband at some point today, so there you go. The last time I was insulted, well, I honestly can't remember. I'm really lucky. I don't think anybody's insulted me for quite a while. They might have given me a backhanded compliment occasionally, and I just don't notice, so I don't really know. My favourite flavour. Oh, that's quite difficult because I like quite a few things, but at the moment, I think it's got to be coconut because I absolutely love him. Aldi's own version of Malibu. Don't mind if I do, thanks. What instruments do I play? Well, I don't, unfortunately. I don't play anything musical. I used to, and in my youth, I learnt the clarinet, not very well, and the recorder, but I don't play anything now, I'm afraid. I'm a bit useless on that front. Favourite piece of jewellery? Well, that is really a no-brainer to me. There it is. I don't know, can you see that? I can't see what I'm doing there. And that would have to be my engagement ring, which is the top one, my eternity ring, which is the middle one, and my wedding ring, which is the bottom one. You would have to price this off my dead cold hand, basically. It's never ever going anywhere because I adore this set of jewellery and I'm extremely lucky that I have a chance to own it. So there you go, that's my favourite piece of jewellery. The last sport I played, oh God, I don't play any sport, just going for a walk this morning count. Well, the last thing I did do was I did take my son down to the basketball court down the road from us in the park, and I had a go at basketball and a bit of football, so if you can count that, then that was the last sport I played. Either that or the sport I like to play of hunt the size 20 in Primark, that's a good sport. Right, the last song I sang, I have no idea. I was singing along in the office the other day to Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon, so can we count that? That'll do, won't it? Favourite chat-up line? I don't have one. I haven't got a clue. I've never used a chat-up line, and, well, no. And it says, have you ever used it? Well, no, I don't use chat-up lines, and, so no, I don't have one, sorry. Last time you hung out with anyone? I mean, I don't know. Well, I hung out today with my husband, so does that count? I suppose that counts, doesn't it? And that was the last thing. Now, what I need to do now is tag somebody to do this. And I was thinking about this, thinking, oh, who can I tag? So I thought, and she'll probably kill me for this, I thought I would tag the lovely Leah from Just Me Leah. So yes, Leah, if you're watching this, which I really hope you are, I tag you, but I will put it on a blog post as well. But if anybody else wants to have a go at these 50 questions, then obviously I've done them on a video, but if you go over and see Vicky at The Curved Opinion, she's done it on a blog post, so you can see all 50 written down, so you can have a go. And if you do, then just let me know if you've done it, and I can have a look at what your answers are. So yeah, that's it really. I'm probably bored you all to tears now, so it just leaves me really to say goodbye. And don't forget, I have a blog over at www.nattynicky.com. You can also find me on Twitter at gamergirl0621. I'm on Instagram under Natty Nicky and Tumblr under Natty Nicky. I'm on Facebook under Natty Nicky. Oh God, I'm everywhere, aren't I? Sorry, like a bad penny, I just keep turning up. And if you like my videos, which probably not many of you do, but anyway, never mind, you can hit that little button underneath that says subscribe. please, because I haven't got very many subscribers at the moment, obviously because I haven't really done an awful lot, but and that's it really. So it just leaves me to say thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you all soon.